I live in South Florida, and we're off to find Opal, my octopus friend. Today is day 7. Let's go see what she's up to. As soon as we got to her den, I could tell she was in a curious mood. And today's object of interest are fins. Every time we got close, she'd immediately launch out of her hole to inspect the ridges and edges of our gear. I feel like this is such a great example of how octopus can change not only their color, but also their skin texture. The first few times Opal touched our fins, she got all bumpy on the outside, and she also developed this kind of red and tan checkered pattern. Here's Opal exploring my fins, which she liked just fine, but she absolutely loved my husband. Shout out to Cressy for making octopus-approved gear. At one point, she came out of her den, swam over to his foot, and started sticking her arms up through the toe hole, methodically working her way up towards his ankle. She was really rummaging around. You can see when she swims away how her skin goes from red to white and from bumpy to smooth. Then, when she's back in her hole, she gets these dark circles around her eyes and flashes her colors. All of a sudden, a school of passing barracuda interrupted our fun, and she went back down into her den, so we continued along on our dive. Here's a juvenile blue tang, and yes, the blue tang is actually the yellowfish. They turn blue once they mature. I also spotted this feisty arrow crab. Don't they kind of look like underwater daddy longlegs? There's a ton of them hiding in the rocks here. Also hiding in the rocks was this spotted moray eel. We showed his dad and his son where it was, and they were so excited to see it. As we were swimming back in, I noticed this tiny baby sea hare. I went down to say hi, but suddenly it got stuck in a current and tumbled up into the water column. Poor Betty. It started to swim and eventually settled back down, only to be swept up again a few seconds later. It must be so tough to be so small in such a big underwater world. It was time to head in, but what a fun day that was. Thanks for joining me on my dive. I'll see you next time I'm underwater.